an award for the impact she's making in small and medium-sized businesses. Obianuju is an expert in business and finance strategy. So as you listen to her, listen closely to everything she will be saying, because your businesses and your life are about to change. Join me to welcome my friend, Obianuju.
Oh, that's too kind of you. It's such a privilege.
I can say so much about you, but time will come.
Privilege to be here. And thank you, Nena, for that kind introduction. I want everyone here to do a simple thing for me. We have over 30 people here. I see over 30 people from the screen. Could you just help me type in the chat between income, stability, growth? Which one of these are you looking for? Can you please just do that for me in the chat? Just one word right now. Are you here looking for money? Are you looking for wealth? Are you looking for stability or growth? Please type that in. Are you looking for freedom? I want to know what we are all here to do, because we asked you to drop in your expectations and we're reading some interesting one. But now that we're here, it will be good to hear from you. Oh, I see growth. Tina is looking for growth. Precious is looking for financial freedom. Parents, I'm looking for wealth. I like that. All right, you're looking for wealth. Growth in my business, I see. Blue Pips, I agree with you completely. Francis Baker. So one more thing you can do for me is to drop in, what's your primary source of income? Is it business or employment? I know this time around we have people doing wearing multiple hats, but it'd be good to know which one of these. What's your source of income? What's your primary source of income? Business, employment? Is it inheritance? If it's inheritance, please drop, because it'll be good to know which one of these is your primary source of income. So looking at the responses, I see that we're not just looking to make a living. We are all looking for wealth, income, growth. But I know that underneath, nobody said they are looking for prosperity. But I know that definitely we all want sustained prosperity. You do not want to put in more effort. You're tired of working so hard and hustling. You desire to earn income consistently, and not just earn income, be able to retain wealth, whether it's via your business, your employment, or investing. As you will soon listen to Blessing, she'll be focusing on investing. You want stability. With what's going on in the world, you desire stability in your life. You do not want to, your uncertainty is just too much. So that's not what you want for yourself. And you want financial freedom. Someone said financial freedom, and I totally agree. I want financial freedom. I desire financial freedom as well. You want to be able to live life fully and then impact others as you do so. So it is really good that we all desire this. And I'm totally aligned with you. Hence the reason why we are having this conversation. So this is a conversation, and I will be interacting with you, and I would appreciate if you could please drop in the chat any questions that you have. I know that will be taken at some point. Comment, remarks, so I know that you're there, because right now I can't see you, but I know you're there. But from time to time, please let me know that you're there. So, but before we begin, there's an important story I want to share with you. And I believe that many of us here can actually absolutely relate to this story. I once knew a business that was very successful from the outside. Customers were coming, the product was a hot sell, the demand was high. Hence the reason why the business was growing so quickly and was expanding to multi-cities. And business was good, life was good. However, inside of that business was quite fragile. Though it looked successful from the outside, it was fragile from the inside. There was no system, there was no structure. The business owners were basically just trying to keep it together from the inside, trying to capture the market. And before you knew it, something began to break. So if what I'm talking about, you have ever experienced it, I would like you to engage. Tell me that you've seen it. Have you seen it in your business, in the business of your employers, of your family and friends? Let me know that you've seen something like this. A business is growing, all of a sudden, the business started to have challenges. Once a business begins to have issues, it's the employees that begins to feel it. So if you have seen it, drop in the chat, seen it for me. So what are the different symptoms? How do you know? How do you recognize such businesses that are unsustainable? So let's look at the symptoms. Does it feel like the business is starting all over every month? There are no predictable income. No predictable income. When you're starting the year, you're doing the month, you're doing your forecast, you can't be sure that this is the amount of income that is coming. You have to hustle all over again. There are no systems that ensure that there are recurring incomes. Such businesses are unsustainable. If you also feel like the business is very busy, you go to work or you go to your business and there's a lot of hustling and bustling, but then you can't really say, have this business grown? Can I see my retained earnings? Can I see my net worth? Can I see my assets grow? Where is this money? Money is coming in and out, and you are still broke. Then the fourth one I would like to highlight is if the business overly depends on you, can't take a breather, you can't go on break, can't take a leave, then definitely your business is unsustainable. I've been calling it business, but any business really that exhibits those symptoms is really not a business. Sorry to say, it's just a hustle. Yes. Whether you're doing it on the side or you're doing it fully, if your business exhibits any of those 4 symptoms, you're just really, really hustling. And we're not calling it out because we do not acknowledge the effort you're putting in. We do not acknowledge that you have ambition. We do not acknowledge that you have effort, but we're just letting you know. Because they say once a problem is known, it's kind of half solved. And there's a solution. And that is what I'll be presenting to you this evening. Because your intentions have been clear to us. You said it, you want freedom. You want sustained wealth. You do not just want to earn money, right? So you also see a solution. You need to shift. You need to shift your mind, shift whatever it is you're doing. You have done well. You're already earning income. That shows traction. But it is high time that you shift your focus to building a sustainable business. Or even if you're a career person, you also need to shift your focus to putting a structure in your career so that you can also have a sustainable success in your career. Yes, my sis have done a great job introducing me. I just want to tell you one of the things I do. She mentioned it. What I do is simply helping businesses move from hustle to structure. That's what I do. So, like I said, I've done that for over 40 businesses. And I do that using a simple framework called Stable. And this has been well researched and has proven to work. So that is what I do. And I want to engage you again, and I want you to engage me in the chats. I'm going to show you some brands, and I would like you to tell me what's common with these brands. Perhaps these brands are one of your favorites. Let's see. So let's see. Who knows this brand? PZ. Who uses these products? Oh, I see. Some people say they see this brand. What about this one? Do you see it? Unilever, First Bank, and UAC. What's common with these brands? Type it in. What's common with these brands? I want to see what's common with this brand. I'm not soap. Okay, what's common? Fresh soap. Beyond fresh soap, how How many years old do you think these brands are? How many years old do you think these brands are? See, these are some of the 10 oldest surviving companies in Nigeria from the colonial era. So there must be a secret to their sustainability. There must be a secret. And that's what I'm about to share with you using my stable framework. For over 100 years, some of these brands have been existing. So this is longevity, long-lasting success. So I'm going to share with you, and I would like you to follow me as I share this with you. If you notice that your business is the weakest in any of these elements of this framework, because the framework has 6 elements. So I want you to just listen closely. And if you notice that your business is weakest in any of this area, please put it in the chat for me. Let's engage. Let's find a solution for you. Because the good thing is that that problem can be solved once you apply the right elements of stable. So let's go. Are we ready? Who wants to see the framework? I need to see your engagement. So I'll know whether to go home with my framework or to share with the team here. I'm not seeing your reaction. Should I go ahead and share the solution? The framework for building long-lasting business is what I want to share with you. Should I go ahead? I'm not seeing any reactions. Should I go ahead? Should I go ahead? I'm not seeing any reactions. Oh, yes, I'm seeing it now. Thank you, Shata Ade Comfort. Yes, please share. I like that. It shows you're listening. Good. Please do share. Oh, great. I'm encouraged to share. I'm encouraged to share. So I'll go ahead and do just that. So, drum rolls. So I introduce to you, ladies and gentlemen, a framework for building businesses that stand. Okay. So this is called the stable framework. It has 6 elements. 6 elements that work together to deliver a business that can stand without you and become intergenerational. So the first one, the very first one is strategy. Yes, strategy. We are quite religious and quite spiritual, and it's good. And that's also reflecting in our businesses. But I dare say that hope, you can't really say hope is your strategy for your business. It's good to be hopeful, to be optimistic, because that's going to help you, right? To continue to thrive, continue to strive to survive, even in the face of adversity. However, a real strategy needs to answer 4 questions. So these questions you must take note, because without strategy, your business will struggle. And whether you're starting a business or you already run a business, I need you to answer these 4 questions, because it can help you to reinvent your business. And those questions are this. Of course, the first has to be the customer. Who is your target customer? You have to be clear about that. Who are you solving for? Can't say my customer is the 200 million people in Nigeria. Potentially, yes, but then you have to niche down, especially if you're starting out, or even you're already doing business, and identify who your target customers are and begin to segment them based on what their priorities are. So you must be able to answer that question. And there are several follow-on questions you can use to really clarify who your customer is. Of course, I talked about problem, because remember, you offer value to customer. The value you offer is the fact that you're solving something for them. So what problem? Are you solving a painful problem, or you're solving a Panadol problem, a nice to have problem? And how well are you solving it? Are you outstanding? Are you exceptional? You know, and how do you want to stand out to win? What's your unique selling point? You must have it and you must know it. You must define what it is. I have to consistently deliver it. And then you have to be clear on your direction. Where exactly are you going with this brand? What is your vision for the brand? What is your mission and what values are behind all of that? What are your strategic initiatives for your business? What are those things, goals you want to achieve in 1 year, 2 years, 1 month? You have to build out your strategy. How do you want to attract the customers? And that's what they call the marketing strategy. How do you want to sell? How many channels are you using? The digital media, the working customers. What are your channels? What's your customer journey? You need to think about all of these things as you think about the strategy. What is your strategy for human resources, for finance, for production, and even for services? Even if you're a service business, you need to think. And for those in career, you also need to have a strategy. Sure, I can tell you from experience, you have to have a strategy. You can't just say, I'm looking for a job, any job. Any job is not a strategy. And you can't also be in career to say, that's the role they gave me. You're not even clear of what you're looking for. You're waiting for the company to plan your career for you. My friends, don't do that. And you're a student here. You also have to have your success strategy. And you have to also begin to think long term. That what after these studies, what next? And even students now begin to do businesses. So you have to have that strategy. You even need to have strategy for your life. I dare say that. You need strategy. And even when you go to the spiritual realms, you hear about plans. The psalmist saying, asking God to make his plans to succeed. It shows that you need to plan. Strategy is about planning, about crafting a vision and a mission for yourself. So, my dear people, you definitely need to have strategy. So we move on to the next one. And we say that if your business starts growing and you still do not have a strategy, you're putting your business at risk. So certainly, strategy is a core element that must be sorted out in the stable framework. So if you got strategy, please put it in the chat for me. The first is strategy. We are getting ready to move into the second one. Put it in there for me. And I'll quickly just share two stories. I'll quickly share it because I'm mindful of time. So we have the story of Rihanna. She was able to make $550 million in 1 year. She didn't just wing it. She sat down and structured her business. She had a strategy. She did research and found out what was missing in the makeup industry. And she launched Fenty with over 50 shades of powders for women. And she cashed out. So strategy is key. And then there is also Sarah Berkeley of Spans doing shapewears for women. She started her business from her apartment with only $5,000. She was able to grow that business to $100 million and now even to $1.2 billion. So these women were able to achieve that level of scale because they saw that it was possible and they sat down and clarified what their strategy was. And essentially, T is for team, and team is all about people. So here you need to go with people, you need to collaborate because you can't do it alone. And there's this African proverb that says that if you want to go fast, you go alone. If you want to go far, if you want sustained prosperity, you need to go with people. Whether in career, in business, and in life, you need to go with people. As they say, man is a social being. You need to work with people. So talking about people from the business standpoint, you need to be able to have a recruitment system that is able to attract and retain the right people in your business, clarify their roles, and building accountabilities, create key performance indicators so that they are clear on what success looks like. And then don't micromanage. Don't get a dog and do the backing. Let people do their work. Empower them with the tools that they need to do their work. And let them do the work. Provide feedback and leadership. And let them do the work. Because if your business depends on you heavily, you do not really have employees. You might be paying salaries, not really have employees. You have helpers. Sorry to say that, but really, if you don't have the right structure for your team, you really do not have employees. So instead of going to social media and complain about employees, just sit down and create that clarity around what employees should do and what success looks like, sell the vision to them, create values, train them, and see them do their magic. So that's that for team. And I shared 2 stories, and I was so engulfed in the story I was sharing with you about Rihanna and Sarah Blake, but because of time, I guess we'll just move on that. So architecture is all about your operations and your system. You don't have a system for delivering value to your customer consistently. You are heavily dependent on manual processes. That's difficult to scale. The truth is that if you do not have systems, it will be difficult to continue to deliver the right quality of products and services for your people. So when you talk about architecture, we're talking about the controls, the processes, the SOPs, and the tools that you have, digital, AI, and otherwise. If you're manufacturing, do you have the right machinery to do the work? And talking about systems and digital tools, you can scale smart with Zoho, more than 55 applications that can help you from sales and marketing to managing every other aspect of your business, your inventories, your expense, customer relationship. You can do that, and they have the free tier that you can use. So I encourage you to check that out. So we move on quickly now to books. So books is all about your financial visibility and control, and this is where many businesses break because they find this very boring to do for some reason. But thankfully, technology has also made this easier for you. You can also use Zoho Books to make this easy for you so that you're able to tell what your revenue, your cost, your profit, and you can forecast what your cash is. Because you know what they say, that revenue is vanity, profit is sanity, but cash is king, cash is survival. When you hear businesses fail, it's because there is no visibility around financials. And once you run out of cash and there is no external funding coming in to save you, your business will certainly fail. And that's not what we want. We want sustained prosperity. So if you want sustained prosperity, you need to keep your books properly, complete records, because this is where sustainability is built, around your financials. So we'll move on now to leadership. This is really about you. Leadership is about you. The discipline with which you use to execute, the direction that you're setting for your business, around your decision making, the culture you're creating, and the climate you're also creating. And you as a leader needs to continue to learn, because your learning and the ability to apply what you learn is a critical success factor for your business. Because that way you're able to outperform competitors. You're able to come up with ideas on how to stand out and how to continue to introduce wonderful products and services that would delight the customers, So you need to develop your leadership capacity, take leadership trainings, be willing to get feedback from your customers and your employees as well. Have the humility to listen in, because leadership is not about title or position, it's about influence. It's about influence. So that takes me to the last one. But before I go to the last one, I want to know whether people are actually getting this framework. So if you have heard framework 1 to 5, please type in which of the areas that you find your business or your career to be weakest in. Is it strategy? Is it team? Do you have the right network to help you? If you are talking about career, do you know the right people? Do they know you? If you are talking about business, who are your team? Who is helping you? When you're talking about your architecture, is your system largely dependent on manual processes? And you talk about your financials, your books. Are you confident? If they tell you the tax man is coming tomorrow, are you confident to open up your books? Are you very confident, or is your heart shaking? So you need to keep your books, not just for compliance, but because you need it for decision making. You need it to ensure that your customers are delighted each time they interact with your business. So leadership is about you. Take their leadership test you can take to strengthen your leadership. We go back to endurance, and that's all about resilience, about having the strategic courage to deal with issues when and if they occur. So we're talking about whether you can withstand shock, whether your business can actually stand without you for 30 days. That's what endurance is all about. Shocks like war, inflation, changes in currency. Do you have financial buffers to carry on? That's what endurance is all about. It's a test for resilience, you know. And you also have to put in risk management mechanism. You have to dissect the different risks, things that could go wrong. You have a risk register and say, which of the risks do I accept? Which of them should I transfer? Take on insurance. There's no reason why you can have a warehouse and you don't have insurance for your goods. Anything can happen, you know. So you need to have risk management mechanisms to make sure that any shocks that happen, whether human or nature, you are able to continue to strive, you know. So have that courage and have the grit. And we created a test for you. In case you're wondering, you would like to check yourself out to know. We encourage you to go ahead and take this test on our website. You can take a picture of this, you know, go take the assessments, see your score, and begin to fix it. Should you need help, we are happy to assist you on that. So I move on now to basically just tell you to bring in some context. I know that we have a lot of women here, and this webinar is primarily to promote financial independence amongst women. So I looked up the statistics and I saw from the World Bank that 1 in 3 women globally are already business women, you know, and in Nigeria, Faith Foundation put it at almost 48% women are already doing business. So women doing business is not a problem. It's actually how can they sustain so that they can become financially independent, which is the goal of this webinar. How can you achieve sustained prosperity? How can you become financially independent? Hence the reason why I'm telling you that you need to structure your business. So if you already have a business, you must make sure that you take the test and begin to build from your weakest point. So we need women to survive growth, because growth comes with a lot of risks. You might be doing 1 million today, 2 million, but if you get to 100 million, you'll continue to do business in a haphazard manner. Definitely, your business will not survive that growth. It is a time to put in structure. We need a business that can withstand shocks, and we need businesses that can become a legacy, outlive you. And hence the reason why I'll quickly share a story with you. Let's bring this home. This is Tara Ferladrotoye. She made a difference, and what helped her to make a difference in her entrepreneurial journey was structure. And she has written a book about this, and she's also one of the people that speak about this. You know, you can look her up. She sells her products and services. She has built system, trains people, and has created an ecosystem that has even trained and imparted over 1,000 beauticians. And her business still stands today. She has handed CEO role to another person, and the business continues to run. She has attained that financial freedom. She's doing every other thing that she wants to do because she was able to build a system that can outlive her. Her business continues to grow and continues to give her income, repeated income, predictable income. Remember, that's what we all are looking for. So this is a fine case study of someone that has done it, a blueprint that we all can follow. And all of the elements that she has used have been captured in the stable framework, which you can begin to adopt by taking that test. So the truth is that entrepreneurship can give you income. That's no doubt. We all knows that already. Because there are basically 2 ways to make money, right? Through employment, through business, which is the entrepreneurship we're talking about. But the fastest route to making money is actually through business. So we know, hence the reason why we're all interested in doing business, despite the risk that comes with it. But what we're talking about is sustainable entrepreneurship. And the reason why we are telling us to adopt structure and to pursue the path of sustainable entrepreneurship is because wealth, sustainable entrepreneurship is what can give you wealth, independence, and helps you create a legacy. So if this is what you want, I encourage you to please go ahead and take the test, and we are happy to assist you in whatever way you want to make that a reality for your business. So thank you for having me here. Thank you, wonderful attendees, for paying attention despite all the things that try to disrupt us. It shows that we have endurance. We are gritty people. We can withstand shocks, whether it's coming from the internet. We're able to stay true. And I wish you well in your business and in your career. Thank you very much for having me here.
That is an awesome way to end the conversation. We have resilience. I mean, we did not give up on ourselves and on our speaker. Can we just make our speaker feel appreciated